Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the week of September 22nd. This week, we're going to jump right in here. You have this flow card and this synchronicity card here, Pisces. This first row is going to be your current general energies. We're actually going to mix things up this week, and each row is going to represent something different than it normally does. So stay tuned for that. But, again, I do think that Pisces definitely needs to follow synchronicities. The way that I feel about this, Pisces, the energy for you, is that it feels more like something is breathing. And I know that sounds weird, but it's like I feel that something increases in intensity and then kind of goes down, if that makes sense. So it's almost like there is an increase in intensity of energy, but this is not a bad thing. I feel this is about something that you want to do in your life. And, it popped into my head immediately with that flow card there. And, it's like sometimes I think we can get excited about an idea or, something that we're going to do in life. And like the intensity of it, we get more and more excited, and then maybe the excitement goes away, and then maybe it returns like in the near future. And that's kind of like what I'm talking about here, Pisces. And you seem very focused on yourself this week, which would be a good thing, not a bad thing, not in a bad way, Pisces. But, again, in your current general energies, you have the Temperance card, Knight of Cups, in the World. The Temperance card, definitely, I'm just getting the word changes here, like there are changes that you want. Like I feel like there are changes you want to make. And you're trying to improve your life in some way, obviously. And I feel that there are some future fears coming up here as well. I'm getting a lot in this reading, so there's like a lot of different, there's a lot of moving parts and intensity. Like I said, I think that is a good way to describe the energy, at least in this first row, is like an increase in intensity. But I mean that in a good way. Like I said, it's like your ideas, it's like an idea that is increasing in intensity, which is, like I said, a good thing. It's like if you're getting more and more excited about something that you're going to do or a change you're going to make in your life, then that's, again, probably a good thing, and it means that you should follow that flow, which is exactly what I would do with this energy here. Temperance card kind of says, like, don't wait too long. Sometimes, he has this path right here. This is called the path to glory, and there's this glowing crown here. Sometimes I feel the Temperance card, he's trying to turn water into wine here, but he could easily just get off on this path. Like, there's nothing more for him to perfect. He's as ready as he's going to be. And, that's what I feel for you, Pisces. I feel you are as ready as you're going to be. Next, you have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups can be a knight in shining armor. There is a little bit of love here. So if you want love, it is a good time for love for Pisces. But I really feel this is you being more of a dreamer and, kind of like looking for opportunity is what I feel. I feel that you have come to this river. He has been wandering around the desert and where nothing can grow. But now he's come to this river where if he plants his seeds, things can grow. But I also feel like you have to get started with the Knight of Cups, especially if you're thinking about starting a new project or working on something new. I would definitely get started with this Knight of Cups energy. And I would also trust your dreams. Like I said, if you keep thinking about something, or if something is getting more and more exciting, and I know I'm speaking very generally here, but it is very general. It's like an idea, a plan for your life, some sort of change that you're wanting to make, then I would just make the change. I feel things are going to take off very, very quickly for you here, Pisces. And, I would embrace those dreams with this energy. You have the World, so definitely some sort of accomplishment. The World can represent an accomplishment, an achievement. It can also represent completing something as well. I do feel like some of you could be, completing something. It's like you've completed one stage of your life and you're ready to start the next stage of your life. Again, we are in a very significant change time for Pisces. You're going to have Saturn and Neptune enter into your sign one last time. Saturn's already there, but Neptune will be next month, and it'll be 30 years before Saturn comes back. You'll be dead the next time Neptune is back in Pisces. So again, it's kind of like one last time here. The end of the year, and basically until your birthday time next year is how much time you have. February, the end of February, to get started on something that feels new, impossible, hard, all those things, like I say in every single reading. But like I said, I feel this week is very, very different. It's like I said, the intensity is increasing. And I feel that's what you need to pay attention to, is like those ideas that you can't ignore. Or, if you think of an idea, just start a business and you can't stop thinking about it, I would pay attention to that. I also feel you're probably seeing more in synchronicities at this time. So, if you see repeating numbers on the clock, on license plates, if you see anything that you consider a sign, it is a sign, right? With the Temperance card, you have the Two of Swords. Yeah, it's like, I feel Pisces is being asked to have faith in the universe. It's like, I feel if you're coming at things from a 3D perspective, that's going to be hard during Neptune and Pisces. And here's what I mean by that, is I do feel Pisces is being asked to do something hard or different or unique right now. And so, like, let's imagine you had a business that was successful, and if you're being asked to start something new, you might think to yourself, the 3D perspective might be, this is crazy, because it's like I'd be starting from scratch. But the higher perspective, the Neptune perspective, is that you're following your intuitions. And so maybe you think something new would take a long time, but really it won't, because you're following your inspirations. It's like that is the challenge, is faith for Pisces right now. Or I don't even feel right now, I just feel like this week, the week of the 22nd, I feel that is maybe part of the challenge that you are having to face. I don't know, I'm getting the word faith on that card. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Ace of Wands, desire, following your desires, out with the old, in with the new, right? Very simple first row here, for sure. The first row is flowing. You have that flow card, and I feel it is saying that, the energy is flowing, and, you're being inspired this week. Like I said, this would be the intensity. The Ace of Wands kind of is a card of intensity. It can represent intense feelings, kind of like fiery ideas, creative ideas. That's the other thing I would definitely do if I were a Pisces, which I am, is tap into your creativity. You're going to have like 20 years of creativity. I think people forget that, the 12th house, Pluto is in your 12th house in Aquarius. I think people forget that the 12th house is creativity. So, any creative ideas, any creative solutions you can come up with would be really good. I feel it's time to start something new. I feel like you have time. Like I said, I don't think there's necessarily a rush, although I wouldn't wait. If you're being inspired by a new direction, or if you're wanting to try something new in your life, I feel it could be successful much faster than you think. But again, it's still going to take time, but just faster than you think. I also feel that you could be kind of like cutting things out here with the Ace of Wands. I don't know. I wouldn't normally say that on the Ace of Wands, but I feel like there are some sacrifices that you're going to make over the next few months. But these aren't like bad sacrifices. It's like maybe you think you're going to be able to, go do something like travel or something. And I feel that over the next few months, what could happen is that you don't, or maybe you have a choice. Like you could travel, or you could stay and work on your new idea, your new business, right? And get it going. And so I feel that some of you could be making those types of sacrifices that are going to benefit your future. Your next row, again, we're switching up the rows here this week, and your next row is going to represent messages from your future self. And I just feel like there are some things that you are thinking that you're going to do that you're not going to do. But again, I don't mean this this is not a bad thing. It's not even a challenge. I think it's a good thing. It's like you're making decisions to say like, okay, well, I could travel, or I could finish this thing I'm working on and get it done because it's going to set me up for the future. And I feel a lot of you are doing that. With the World, you have the Lovers. You have a little bit of love here, like I said, so definitely could be a love connection. Love is really good for Pisces right now, so I would say if you want love, obviously you're going to have to get out into the world, and that's what I would do. I also feel that Pisces needs to kind of claim their space in the world. The Lovers can say that you have a choice. The Lovers can represent being at a crossroads, and traditionally was a choice in love, but I also feel in a general reading it can just be a choice that you are making, and I would pick the new path for sure. Next, we are going to look at messages from your future self. You have this celebration card and this knowledge card. Yes, I feel this is saying your knowledge needs to be celebrated. It's like, yeah, Pisces has learned a lot over the many years, past many years. And I feel that if you don't like put that knowledge into the world, if you don't show what you know, then no one is going to see it, Pisces. So I definitely feel it's time for you. I feel this is saying it's time for you to be celebrated. But, again, you're going to have to use what you know to be celebrated in the first place. You have the Six of Swords, the Three of Swords, and the Hangman. A lot of it is a healing week. We have the eclipse on the 21st in Virgo, which obviously is definitely a healing eclipse. So a lot of you could be healing past situations, past health issues, past, everything, basically. It's not just like one thing, so a lot of you I see could be moving forward. It's kind of like this is the decision time, or I that's not the word I want, but it's like this is the moment where you're like finally saying like, okay, I'm done with this, and you're moving past things. And that's I really don't get much else on this Six of Swords. This is a good thing, obviously, that you're like finally being done with certain things in your life. Next, you have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords can be heartbreak, sadness, all those other things. But I feel that I definitely feel, like I'm not going to sugarcoat it, I definitely feel you could be thinking about past heartbreaks, things that didn't work out for you. And that is kind of like part of the challenge that I feel in this reading, is that there could be some little things that didn't work out in the past that could be affecting your decisions now. And like I said, for some of you, this is definitely not love. I feel this could be like work, where you've tried to do things that didn't work, and it's like now you're being asked to try those things again. And the other problem I feel for Pisces, I'm pretty sure I've said this to you before, is if you're comparing yourself to other people. I think you need to know that you know more. It's like let's say you see someone successful, and let's say it took them 10 years to build their business to the point it is now. I feel Pisces could be saying, oh my God, it's going to take me 10 years. It's like, no, it's not. Those are the things that I feel you have to release. Is kind of like, you are on Pisces time. You're not on other people's time. And I feel you need to realize that things, you have much more, you've done much more, and that's going to, kind of make things happen faster in a certain way. I don't think it has happened fast, though. That's the thing that Pisces needs to realize. It's like, yeah, it took that person 10 years, but you've also probably been doing things for 10 years. You've been learning, you've been practicing, you've been doing all these things, right? It's like you've already done a lot of the work, and I feel that is the part of Pisces that Pisces is kind of missing right now. And me too. I'm right there with you, Pisces. Like, I'm far from freaking perfect, right? But what I would say here is it's like, I feel like that is the thing that Pisces is missing at this time. You have the Hangman. Let me know if that's true in the comments. Also, make sure to drop a like on this video. It really helps me out. And make sure to leave a comment. It helps me out, even if it's an emoji. But you have the Hangman. The Hangman is you, Pisces. The Hangman is you being in Hangman mode. It's like you've learned as much as you're going to learn. I even feel like your future self, your guides, your ancestors are kind of encouraging you right now, saying like, okay, he's hanging from the tree of knowledge and wisdom. He's learned as much as he's going to learn. And, that's it. He just needs to get off the tree and start moving forward. So I feel it's time for you to kind of like put your work on display, is what this card is saying. With the Six of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords, yes, needing to set yourself free. Again, not a bad reading at all. I feel this is good. I feel that energy. It's like the breathing energy. It's like I said, I feel like you get inspired to work on something, and then it kind of contracts, and then you get excited again. I feel like this week you're getting excited. It's like you're breathing in, the energy, if that makes sense. That's what I'm talking about with this increase in intensity of the energy or an idea that you have. I feel like the Eight of Swords, the only challenge you have here is setting yourself free from, past expectations, but also whatever you're comparing yourself to, I feel just intuitively is the thing that could be holding you back. With the Three of Swords, you have the Strength card. I feel Pisces needs to realize how much strength they have gained. The thing about her is she's putting her strength on display. People are seeing how strong she is. She's putting her hands in the lion's mouth. And so this is a display of strength. I feel it's time for Pisces to, the whole entire reading is saying that it's time for you to put on a display of strength. It's time to show the world what you're made of. It's time for you to show the world what you're capable of. Very motivational reading, I would say, as well, Pisces. It's like clear to me that your ancestors, your guides, your future self, they're all trying to get you to feel motivated and, kind of like accomplish whatever it is that you're thinking about accomplishing. It's time to, I also kind of feel it's time for you to set yourself up for a brighter future is what the universe wants you to do. But it's like you have to do it, right? You have to put in the work. And, the funny thing is the Strength card, this is her inner voice or her inner critic, that lion that's on the card there. So you have to overcome yourself. Really, I think I said something similar to that about at the beginning of the reading, that this reading is really about you. Yeah, there's love here, but I think that you should focus on yourself this week and, focus on these things. With the Hangman, you have the Seven of Wands. I feel like this is what you're waiting for, but it's like you're not going to get it until you get started. Seven of Wands, especially with Neptune retrograding into your sign next month. The thing with Neptune and Pisces is, for Pisces especially, is that you might feel like you need inspiration to get started, but it's actually the other way around. You have to get started to get inspiration. And so the Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. Seven of Wands says when you know that something is for you, then it's for you. But it's like to get that level of conviction, I feel that you have to get started first to find the inspirations. And so any projects that you're thinking about working on, anything you're thinking about starting, start it. Next, we're going to look at anything that you don't see coming in for you this week. You have this balanced spirituality and practicality card. You have this card, you can't make this up. It says the energy is gaining momentum. That's kind of what I'm talking about with this whole breathing type of energy that I got at the beginning of the reading. So definitely true. Like I said, I think that you can't be all 5D. You know, I think I said this on the Knight of Cups, that you have to, it's like a mix. It's not one or the other. It's not that you can only use one or the other. It's about using both. And so I definitely would balance your spirituality and your practicality. It's like you've been dreaming enough. Now, I feel it's a little bit more of a 3D time for you, like not in a bad way. You know, we're not talking about in a negative way, but in a good way, where you kind of create things in the world. You have the Three of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Hermit. I feel a lot of you, there could be something that you don't see coming is that there's a lot of support coming in for you. You know, especially if you are again, working on a project that will involve other people or could affect other people. I feel that the support is going to come very quickly for you. One thing I would say is ignore the time right now. There's, eclipses are a little tricky, especially having one in Virgo, especially this Virgo one for you, Pisces. It's like you might experience, especially around the time of the eclipse. And remember, eclipses can last for 6 months. So you're going to have to ignore. It's not really about ignoring criticism. Sometimes criticism is valuable, right? It's just about not taking it to heart right now. And I feel that's what you need to realize is that if you're going to be doing anything, it's like you're going to have people who criticize you. You're going to have people that, say things about you and, all that other stuff, right? Especially if you're doing anything important. But I still feel what you should be focusing on is all the people that support you, because there's going to be 10 times more people who support you than there are that negative, right? So I think you need to focus on that. Next, I think that another thing, this feels like a separate thing that could be a little bit unexpected for you this week, Pisces, that you're going to be making a change. The whole entire reading kind of talks about change with that Temperance card. I was getting more the word change on that card, and I feel that some of you could be changing direction rather quickly, or it's like you're going to be doing something that takes up some of your time, and I feel this is a little bit unexpected. Yeah, I know this is a weekly reading, but I feel this is something you're going to be doing into the future. No time limit, right? It's like you're going to be making a change. Feels like work or business for sure, or something that you're working on. I mean, it could be personal, right? It could be like your health or, anything else. But I feel for a majority of you, it's like work or business. And I feel that this is going to be something that, again, I think you need to pay attention to that breathing energy that I was getting as well. This is very Neptune and Pisces as well. It's like, with Neptune and Pisces, we have to remember that it's like when we feel inspired, we should work. We should double down on the work that we're doing. If we don't feel inspired, if we feel lazy, take a rest, right? Don't beat yourself up for taking a break. So I would be paying attention to that. But, but again, as long as you're doubling down when you feel inspired, it's like that will make up for the time that you take off. But, don't beat yourself up if you're having these moments where you're doing a ton of work and then all of a sudden you feel lazy. It's like you're not lazy. You're just working with the Neptune energy. And I feel you need to understand that. But the Seven of Pentacles, again, something that's a little unexpected here or that you don't see coming is the change that you're going to be making and how quickly it's going to happen. You have the Hermit. Number one, of course, this week starts the day after the Virgo eclipse, so you're probably feeling that intensity. Intuitively, Pisces, I think I said this in the eclipse readings that I did. I feel that this Virgo eclipse is actually going to be pretty lucky for you. So, you know what I mean? I don't think it's bad at all. The Hermit can say that you might feel a little bit in Hermit mode, but, again, everything about this reading, you have so many symbols. Like he has this star in his lantern, but he needs to shine that star out all over the place. He needs to show off. And, we said with the world that you need to show the world what you're made of. You have the strength card. You need to, put your strength on display. It's like everything about this reading is encouraging you to show off at this time in some way. There you go. Here you go. With the Three of Cups, you have the world. I feel you are becoming very popular. You're about to be. Maybe it's, maybe not this instant second, but between now and next year, I think, once we really hit March, things really start building. So it's like if you're thinking about building something like a social media, if you're getting a job that's public facing or something like that, this could be very good for you, and you could be getting a lot of attention in the world. Again, a lot of you over the next several years will probably be thinking about like moving around or rearranging your home, making changes in the home. Uranus and Gemini. We get a little bit of a break here in November. Basically Uranus is going to retrograde back into Taurus in November. It is retrograde right now, but, again, it hits Taurus in November. And so, again, once we get past, the beginning of the year, some of you could be really making a lot of moves. Here you go. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Swords. I literally said I was getting sacrifice on the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Swords is sacrifice. Usually, we have to, the sword cuts both ways. Usually, we have to cut one thing out so that we can have something better, And I really feel the universe is pushing Pisces to, like, start that next thing, or, to start their next masterpiece in life, whatever it is for you. It's like, imagine if your job is to show people that they can change, that they can reinvent yourself. That's Pisces. Pisces is the chameleon of the zodiac. It's like literally your job to show people that they're not stuck, that they can change at any point in their life. And so, yeah, I feel a lot of you could be making sacrifices and letting certain things go so you can have something better. And it will be a victory. The Ace of Swords is victory. With the Hermit, you have the Hermit. So, basically the universe saying I meant what I said on that. Time to show off, for sure. Next, we are going to look at the good stuff. So the last row is going to be the same as well. You have this Milk and Honey card and this Come to the Edge card. I feel like you need to push yourself past that point where you'd normally give up. The Come to the Edge card basically says you need to, in any area of your life, anything that you want, you need to, push yourself to that point where you'd normally quit or give up and go like one step further, right? I think it would be better almost for Pisces to commit to something for a certain amount of time. Like, I have my 90-day rule. I commit to new things for 90 days. I don't worry if it's working or not during that 90 days. I make that judgment at the end of the 90 days, right? And, it's really changed my life. I used to have a million ideas. I would get nothing done because I would like start one thing. I'd be like, this isn't working. Then I would start the next thing. Then I would start the next thing. Now, most years, I get at least one big thing done every single year, sometimes more, right? It's like not all of my ideas during the 90 days, each 90 days, each quarter works. But when something works, it works really well. And so, since I implemented that rule, I've gotten a lot more done. And I feel like you need to focus on that as well. I definitely not, the Milk and Honey card kind of says don't rest on your laurels. It kind of says don't be lazy at this time. Not that you would, but, I do feel it's saying like don't wait to make a change. Don't wait till something bad happens. You have the Two of Cups, the Moon, and the Four of Swords. Definitely could be love coming in for you for sure. And so, there you go. The Two of Cups usually starts as communication. And so this could be someone new who's communicating with you at this time. You have the Moon, which is also good in the good stuff because the Moon is you, Pisces. So it's like I feel like you're in actually a very inspired time. Coming up in the good stuff, the Moon is kind of like clarity. I also feel like you're more brave. That's the word that's popping into my head with the Moon. The Moon can represent fears, fantasies, illusions. But I feel like you're more willing to kind of put yourself out there this week and maybe even a little bit longer. Again, this is one of those readings where I don't feel it's only talking about a week. I feel it's talking about, kind of like an energy that you're going to be dealing with for a while. And obviously that's a good thing. I feel you're going to be more brave, more bold. It's like you're more comfortable, maybe you're more in your energy, and I feel good about that. You have the Four Swords. Yeah, I think you need to mix. It's like you need to mix between taking a break, it's like balancing the Milk and Honey thing, right? It's like you need to balance out your breaks with your work. I feel the easiest thing for you, Pisces, is going to be, again, if you feel tired or whatever, take a break, right? That's it. Recharge your batteries. When you feel inspired, but the trick is, when you feel inspired, do more, right? Because you can, and you won't burn out. But when you lose the inspiration or whatever, or the energy, then take a break, right? Recharge your batteries, watch a movie, go do something, do something to get inspiration, go for a walk, go, do something fun, right? And I feel as long as you follow that, the Four Swords is blessings. But that's where you will get your blessings is by, kind of paying attention to the flow of the energy or the breathing energy that I was getting, right? With the Two of Cups, you have the Tower. Yeah, coming up in the good stuff. So this could be a surprise. Definitely could be a surprise that someone is coming in for you. Or it could be, I kind of feel like for some of you, this could be someone who comes in like really fast, like all of us. Like I'm not trying to be mysterious here or clickbaity or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But it's almost like you can feel the excitement of a person, which is good. I mean, oh my God, like wouldn't it be amazing to find a person who's excited to be with you, Pisces? That's what I feel. With the moon, you have the King of Swords, your knowledge and wisdom. Everything we talked about with that knowledge card. I feel like you need to show your knowledge and wisdom to the world. You need to take action on it as well with this card, for sure. With the Four of Swords, you have the Queen of Swords. I normally do not like the King and Queen of Swords for divine counterparts, but what I will say is that coming up in the good stuff, obviously, these can be very positive. So I do feel there could be a strong connection coming in for you here. This, to me, in the good stuff would be like starting as communication. Next, you have this Eagle card. It says Triumph over Obstacles. Love it. Ace of Swords is a card of overcoming obstacles. The sword is above the mountains here. So a lot of you could be overcoming obstacles. You have this card. It says period of prosperity and abundance. Yes, if you do the work, if you start that new thing, that whatever is increasing in intensity, you have to pay attention to the intensity of energy. I feel some things in your life are low energy, some things are high energy. Those are the things that are going to bring in this. You have this crib card. It says birth or conception of a child or an enterprise. Definitely feel that some of you are birthing something. Probably not a child, but probably a business idea. An idea for a career, whatever it is you're working on. So that looks good. You have this force. It said muddled, unclear thinking. I wouldn't worry too much about this. I mean, we do have a Mercury retrograde in November. Again, for God's sakes. I need a break from the retrogrades as well, Pisces. I'm sure you're saying the same thing. But, again, we do have Mercury retrograde. We're not that close to it or anything. But, between now and the end of the year, I would definitely make sure you're being clear. You have this needle and thread. It says a sincere wish granted. Love it. So definitely could be some sort of wish granted. Again, this reading looks pretty good for you, Pisces. I mean, I think there could be a lot of good stuff coming in this week. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So thank you for being here. Make sure to like and comment down below. Really helps me out. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.